Hello everyone and welcome back to YuGiOh. It's time to duel. So we're going with the quarter century Bonanza in Parks and Recreation. Sorry if I don't say the name of the channel. I don't feel complete. So quarter century Bonanza, man, these guys are burning the room with the quarter century thing. The first one, which we opened, I was like, man, crazy, quarter century. But you could see that they were like planning stuff because it was like volume 1, and you only call it volume 1 when you're confident you're going to have a second one. Like, you know, Pokemon, when they did like Pokemon, the first movie is like, oh, you are confident you're going to release more than one, right? Here is the same. So we had like quarter century 1, quarter century 2, quarter century whatever, and now we have quarter century Bonanza, and then there is another one that comes after this that I can't remember. So quarter century, what's in the box? We're going to figure it out in a second. So English edition, first edition, YuGiOh. Well, apparently my blade is dull. Apparently we're going to figure it out in a second. It's a smaller than usual YuGi box. YuGi box is a smaller than usual YuGi box. Sorry, I can say YuGi and something with B without going full Pegasus there. As you can see, is smaller than usual, and the reason is actually just the packs, because and the recreation, because this is 24 packs per box. This is also, but these are 9 cards per pack, and this is 5. So technically, because you get more bang for your buck. Now the box, I can tell you, even though, you know, I don't think anyone is going to. This one is damaged here. It feels bad, but it has like this matte texture that's just like premium, because well, you pay more for these. 5 cards per box, no details, just a blindingly reflecting lower part, and all the text is here, and it says, for more information please visit YuGiOh card. No specific. Gotta love this thing, right? It says, set content subject to change. No specific card variety is guaranteed to exist within an individual pack, box, or case, unless otherwise indicated. Manufactured and distributed by Konami Digital Entertainment, UK branch, German branch, and that's it. It's made in Belgium. So very likely by the same factory that does the Magic the Gathering cards. I am not sure. I just find it suspicious that suddenly everything is in Belgium, right? Suddenly, I mean. So quarter century Bonanza, very bling, very foil. So you know how this goes, people. This is YuGiOh, this is quarter century. Get ready and get your sunglasses, because this thing is going to shine bright like a diamond. Let's see. Quarter century Bonanza. Can I ninja one of these? Well, the first one I can't ninja, right? If you're not familiar with the term, can I ninja a pack? It just means opening it, preserving the wrapper. Not because I want to reseal them because I'm some sort of douchebag, but just because sometimes I want to preserve some wrappers because it's part of the booster magic, right? So already banned through magic and YuGi experience. And let's see, Laundry Dragon Maid, which is a good name because of the laundry mat and all that. Snake Eyes, Flamberge Dragon. Obelisk the Tormentor, baby, let's go! It's a shitty card, but I love this thing. Yes, baby, you can tell from the distance. Whenever you have like an old school bro like me, like I was raised on YuGiOh, baby, like on anime, like I was raised on that shit. You can tell, because it's like Obelisk the Tormentor. Any competitive player will look at this card and go like, oh yeah, Obelisk. Okay, I guess you can make it work with a specific deck. I guess, you know, like, I guess you can make it. I mean, it's nothing special. I guess you could make it work. But if you are a kid that was raised on YuGiOh, you look at this and you can't not say the name without saying it Kaiba style and go like, Obelisk the Tormentor, destroy them, and just go full beast. So we also got Bonfire in rare. So not bad. This is pretty cool. Deep Sea Diva also with a golden title. This is pretty cool. I mean, it's not always the Tormentor. It's pretty cool. So let's see. Can I ninja this one? I just want to ninja one, right? I'm not going to ninja all of them. But apparently, yes, I can. There you go. See, this is how you ninja a pack. I'm not going to reseal them. I just want to keep it for posterity. And the origin story for that is when I was a kid, which now that I think about it, it was a long time ago. When I was a kid, getting Dark End Dragon, let's go. When getting boosters of Yugi was so rare and so expensive, brother, that Nightmare Phoenix, let's go, full plastic feeling and all. That, you know, I will cherish every second of it. Like what I'm doing now, because I mean, it's a video. If you want to see the details of the card, just pause the video and read the card. You know what I mean? And I'm familiar with some of them, not all of them. I'm not going to pretend like I'm a pro Yugi player. If you watch this channel, you know that I am into too many card games. So like I know enough to play, enough to be somewhat competitive, I guess. But yeah, I don't recognize all of them. Like let's not pretend. And here I'm going like, you know, fast forward, like, oh, Nemesis? Nemesis flag? But I love the Yugi names. They just go so random. Card of Safe Return, let's go! Another classic from the good old times. SP Little Knight. I also love these random Yugi names. It's like, oh, of course, this is the SP archetype. And it's like, sure. That grass looks greener. And this is one of the silly cards. And this card, I recognize this dude. Is the ogre that is everywhere. I just don't remember the name. Or the goblin, sorry, not the ogre. But what was I saying? I don't remember what I was saying. So at the end of the day, Win the Wind Charmer, Verdant, part of that story with the Six Samurai United from the Six Samurai. This is a quarter century. In case you missed it, is because of that. Which, yes, in the middle of my rant, let me show you in a second. Legendary Six Samurai Kizan, Allure of Darkness. Oh, man, oof, this thing goes hard, brother. This thing is 3D printed. Like, can you see it? Well, I know that you're looking in the video and you're like, man, that looks sick as hell, right? Because of all the effects that the black area has, and you see like this, and it does like this visual illusion. Right, I mean, it's a Pringle because, of course, but this thing is actually 3D, right? So this is actually badass. This card is badass. Allure of Darkness, just the card itself. The card, in terms of effect, that's a different story. But draw 2 cards, then banish 1 dark monster from your hand, or if you do not have any in your hand, send the entire hand to the graveyard. Not bad. Secret Six Samurai Kizaru. So they went full Six Samurai in this booster, which is interesting. But yeah, in the middle of my obelisk rant, I was indeed trying to check if it was a quarter century, because that would make it even more sweet. But I've been looking at them, and I think that's the first quarter century card we get. So that's not bad. That's actually pretty cool. Quarter century cards are the super duper mega chase cards here. Not all of them, but at least as a treatment, they are the best treatment, the most rare and expensive treatment. And there's a part of me, the older part of me, I guess, that is pretty excited about and you know, has like this nostalgia spot for the quarter century thing, because, well, I am old, and if you were raised with Yugi too, you are old too. So likely you look at the quarter century, and a part of you is like, man, 25 years is a long time when you say it like this, but when you say quarter century, it's like, man, I am old. Ostinato, it has a riff, not bad. Girsu, the Orcust Mech Knight, not bad. Man, nothing can beat the rush of like first booster Obelisk the Tormentor right there. Like, better than that, just like the face of Exodia or something for me to go full fanboy for like 5 minutes. Danger, Bigfoot. I'm gonna love the names of the Yugi cards, man. I always Galatea, not bad. Elemental Hero Stratos, cool. If you're into He-Man, like I was, Stratos was another dude, but this is cooler. Stratos is just cooler. Stratos means the sky, so it's kind of redundant. Set Rotation from the Idol archetype. Branded Opening, not bad too. As you can tell, yes, you're paying more here, and every card is foil. You have some rares, some secret rares. some quarter century rares and all that. Ancient Gear Fortress, nice. Thunder Dragon Colossus, this is actually pretty cool. Thunder Dragon plus 1 Thunder Monster. This is the only way you can beat the the Yugi game from PlayStation 1 from doing all these fusions. Icarus Attack, not bad. That's a Harpy Lady? Yeah, because tribute 1 winged monster, yeah. So Dragon Maid Lorpar, cool. And Super Polymerization. So, discard 1 card, fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from either field as fusion material. Neither player can activate. So this is just like fusion by force. It's like, I can't do fusion because I don't have the materials. Don't worry, I can use your cards as fusion material. Girsu again, or Girsu, depending whether you say GIF or GIF. Atlantean Dragoons, not bad. Ultimate Offering, man, quarter century, let's go! Oh, man, I had so many stories about this card. We played this card so wrong back in the day when we were kids, because it depends. I mean, I know stories about like English native people that play a lot of Yugi cards wrong, mostly because, we were kids and of the anime, and we just played whatever the hell we wanted. And obviously the fact that the first series in Yugi was the dual island, where they had like very specific rules that Pegasus made for that, made it cooler, but also made it no freaking sense for the card game itself. And it's funny because they do say in the series, these are specific rules, and yet people were like, no, it has to be played like in the island, right? And then when they did the Battle City with the actual rules, that's when it was easier to tell people, see, that's how you actually play Yugi, because the starter decks came with a manual thick as hell and no one read it. And Ultimate Offering was one of those. People will look at this infinite or continuous trap and go like, during your main phase or your opponent's battle phase, you can pay 500 life points immediately after this effect resolves. Normal set 1 monster. And people will be like, I don't get it. Because of course, if you're playing with dual island rules, right? Oh, Swap Frog, nice. Like if you're playing with these, with 2,000 life points, obviously sacrificing 500 seems like an investment. Oh, a Lord of Darkness again, nice. But if you're playing with 8,000 as it is supposed to, is more bearable, right? It's like, okay. Plus, it says you may or you can. Or you have to. You can pay. So it was optional. I don't remember if the original one said you can, but I remember that people didn't like the card because they thought that you had to pay, and therefore it was very dangerous. But Heatwave, nice. But yeah, we had all those debates, and with 2,000 life points, with time and age, Armageddon Knight, cool. Cyberjar, let's go. With time, you understand that the only life point that matters is the last one. So everything else is resources. That applies to magic, applies to everything, right? So, but back in the day, it was like 500 life points for this. Like people wouldn't get it. Sky Striker Ace Shizuku, not bad, and Nemesis Flag, which is weird. I mean, it should be Nemesis, but whatever. I guess I don't know. So that was the whole thing, and then Battle City only had 4,000 life points, and that was another debate because you will be like, see, in the rules it says 8,000, and people were like, no, but in Battle City they play with 4, and it's like, yes, because for the sake of the series, for a duel to not be either two. Lord of the Heavenly Prison, nice. This is one of those that is foil, and the picture is so small that it's like very difficult to get the details of such an amazing drawing. And another quarter century, so quarter century that it's difficult to read the title. So, and it's not your screen, and it's not my camera. Even here in person, I'm having difficulty reading it. Legendary Six Samurai. Shien, right? I can read it like this, more or less. There you go. This is one thing that you learn to love about Yugi. Like, they go full crazy with the foil. Like, they don't care. It's like, oh, you can read the card, not my problem. Get good. Like, Yugi could read this card. So if you want to be like Yugi, you just need to up your game, baby. That's how it goes. Man, and I remember one other thing that the Battle City did to the kids back in the day is that it established, because in the Pegasus island. I remember you had to give stars, right? And the stars were the whole, Destiny Hero Malicious. Core Seal of the Forbidden Spell, let's go! Quarter Century, bro! Nice. Look at this. Badass. That was like a mirror. Heavy Storm, man, I pulled this in... I don't remember. I want to say Pharaoh's Servant, but I can't because I'm not 100% sure. Destroy all spell and trap cards on the field. 1 for 1. Take that, My Hero Academia. That's how you do it. And Armageddon Knight. And you had to like bet with stars and all that, but with Battle City, it was like, no, you have to bet your best card, man. And that thing, in the playground, man, that thing stuck like fire, like black fire from like Amaterasu. Like it was crazy. People will be like, oh, okay, so what card are you betting? And you're like, bro, can we just play? It's like, nope, we're betting a card. And then you had to bet the card. And remember, you were playing with kids. Oh, I was shark, nice. You were playing with kids that a lot of times, I would say like you're playing with kids as if I was some sort of predator playing with kids. Like I was also a kid, right? But like we were kids playing in the playground. Half of the rules were made up, or people couldn't read the instructions, or because they didn't bother, or because they. Is that a quarter century? Oh, it's just like a weird foil, right? Yeah. Because remember, if you were not English native, then that was a problem. And people were just like making stuff up, and like Giant Soldier of Stone, destroy the moon, and it's like that the card doesn't do that, right? Like that sort of thing. And remember, most of the decks were basically like Yugi and Kaiba's starter deck with slight modifications, sometimes with official cards, sometimes with Chinese pirate cards, sometimes Vampire Lord, let's go. Sometimes with the Grave of the Super Ancient Organism. not a very discreet name, but it is what it is. Like it was the Wild Wild West, right? And then you had to bet your best card, and obviously you will only bet like original cards, like official cards, right? Like no one is going to bet like a copy card or a printed card or photocopy card. Like no one cared. So you had to like really bet your stuff. Remember, you were a kid. Like if you were like a kid that had money or was late to the party, if you were a kid with money, maybe you had a bunch of how's Dragon made? Maybe you had a lot of like booster cards. Summon Skull, let's go! Yeah, like I love it. This card is like nowadays no one gives a hell about this card. But man, the Summon Skull. I remember we're talking about Schoolyard and all that. I remember as a kid, when I understood the summoning system, I was like, wait, so if it's my attack against your attack and not my attack against your defense, unless you are in defense mode, why would I use the Dark Magician instead of this thing in the Yugi deck? So the Yugi deck had this card, which was like a lot better. It was like, boom, Summon Skull with 1 sacrifice, right? And boom. Now that it has this extra text in here saying, this card is always treated as an Archfiend card. And this is the thing about Yugi. Tidal too, let's go. This is the thing about Yugi. This is the first normal monster, and likely the only one we're going to pull. And Tempest, Tidal and Tempest, let's go. You can make this up. This is the thing about Yugi, right? Like you have all these cards, some of them are competitive, some of them are actually like relevant nowadays. But Summon Skull, no one gives us a single, you know what I mean? Like Obelisk, the same. It's like, I mean, I guess you can make Obelisk work, but it's like whatever. But no one cares. You have objectively better cards nowadays, so why would you, right? But they put them in there for the dudes like me, so that you look at that Summon Skull again. Lord. So you look at that Summon Skull and you go like, my grandpa deck has no weak cards, Kaiba. Boom, and you just pull that thing. That's how it needs to be. Girsu and Crystal Shark, not bad. So now, like, imagine all that thing in the playground, just betting the cards, trying to explain and be like, no, listen, the card does this. Like, no, it doesn't. Like, and then you win or you lose, and then you have to give or steal the best card. Well, not stealing. It wasn't stealing because it was a bet, right? But like the best card. And a lot of times the best card was just either the Dark Magician or Blue Eyes White Dragon because, like, you know, it was most people were playing with the starter decks anyway. Ooh, Ronin Todin. So it is what it is. Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood. Cool. So and sometimes with some kids you could if you knew that you will win, and I didn't want to be a bully with younger kids or anything, I will be like, I take this one, but they and just pick a shittier one at the beginning of the game. But they didn't have the same courtesy to you. So if for some reason you lose, you lose your best card right there. And a lot of times with this, I was saying, people were like, no, I don't want to give the Dark Magician. I was like, well, okay, give me the Summon Skull. The Summon Skull was objectively better. So in retrospect, I was taking advantage of some people, I guess. But Cyber Dragon, let's go. But it is what it is. I lost some cards, I won some cards, it's kind of how it is. And sometimes the best card was all effed up in the corners. It wasn't like pristine condition like the ones you're seeing here. It looked like it was a heavily played card, because that's another one. Most kids didn't have sleeves or anything. And I had the sleeves on my cards, but they were like standard size sleeves because those were the only ones I could get. So my cards were dancing in there. But most kids just play with them bare. And I will carry my playmat, my paper playmat from the starter deck, you know what I mean? I will carry it with me, and I will even ask my mom to plastify it, or actually to make a copy, print the copy and then plastify it. So I will carry it to the playground and so on, and it wouldn't, be at risk. Ooh, nice, very nice, and it wouldn't be at risk of water or anything. Ooh, nice polymerization. Damn, this is a good looking card. With the actual polymerization in the background. That's a nice card, nice looking card. But some kids will just play bare against the floor, and we're talking gravel floors or like cement floors. You know what I mean? Like those cards were scratched. So I have a box of those somewhere. My war trophies. One of these days I need to do a video on that, so you see like the trauma in those cards' eyes. Like those poor cards. I like to think I saved them from a life of misery, but still. Man, they were scratched because people would they put them and then they would just to grab them back, awful. And for a guy that opens cards with gloves, you can imagine the feeling in my back right now as I remember that. But those were the days. I remember I won a Flaming Champion, a Twin Head Flame Dragon. A lot of these cards that people will pull from boosters, and they look good, but they're actually not. 2 sacrifices for a dragon that is 2,200 attack. It's like Summon Skull continues to be better, right? So those were the type of cards that people will bet. And sometimes the rule will just bend to be just bet a card, right? It doesn't need to be your best card. And if it was a card, you can also pick a card, and then the other player would just accept it or not, because you're not going to bet, I don't know, Kuribo. Although Kuribo back in the day was a very valuable card because you could not pull that thing as easy. And Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherry is nice. And it was a Yugi card, so people loved it. Kuribo wouldn't be the best example, but maybe, I don't know, White Phantom, or one of those normal cards from the Yugi deck that were okay, Ostinato. So those were maybe if you bet that Gemini Elf, let's go. Remember when Gemini Elf came out? It's 1900 for no sacrifice. Let's go, above Lajin and all that. Sadly, it's not a quarter century. Second normal monster. That thing is only there for nostalgic reasons, which makes sense because it's quarter century. You should put cards from all over Yugi's history. But man, you will do crazy stuff. Most of the times, or sometimes you will agree with the person and be no bet, and okay. And the no bet thing, when you were both good players, you can tell that the no bet thing was more of a let's play. Okay, which one you prefer? Secret Rare or Rare? It will be let's play a couple of games and measure each other. Let's see how good you are without risks. and you will play like 2 or 3 games, and then we'll be like, okay, so let's bet now. And a lot of times, depending on how those games went, like the other player wouldn't want to play because they will be like, nah, I lost 3 games, F this, I'm going to lose a card, right? And it looks like an anime thing, but I remember some dudes that were way older to play with us, like, I mean, still, you know, teenagers, not like, you know, it wasn't like a YouTuber thing, you know what I mean? But like, you know, teenagers, and they will be like, so they will do the you know, the warm-up games, and they will lose, like, oh no, I lost. And then when you get confident and go like, yeah, I want to bet some cards, they will like destroy you ultra fast, or they will pull a better deck out of all of the sudden, right? But a lot of times it wasn't like a better deck, it was just like they started to play with the deck. And then you started to know people, so you could avoid that, but you could also tell because of the other kids are watching the game. If the kids watching the game, you know, some kids are like, go back and forth between the 2 players so they can see your hand. If the players, and then they will comment or go like, or things like that, and people will like, shut up, don't spoil what I have in my hand, or like that. But like, you could tell because the kids on the back will be like doing faces because the guy was not playing optimally, and they could see the cards in his hand and be like, why is this guy not playing properly? It's like, because he wants to rob you, my friend. So thank you for watching the podcast of an old guy talks about memories. This is the last booster, so let's see what we get in the meantime. Polymerization, Elemental Hero, Flame Wingman, not bad of a pull. Dark Beckoning Beast, not bad either. Pretty cool, I have to say. And Punishment Dragon, which is a midway between a Monster Hunter thing and a Dark Souls boss. Pretty cool looking, I have to say. And those are the pulls. If you ask me, nothing improves pulling, like nothing was better than pulling Obelisk in the first booster. But that's just me, I'm an old man. And obviously, Konami knows what they're doing. They call them quarter century. They attract all people like me to the mix, you know what I mean? And they really just want to hit all corners. Like they have chase cards from the present time, and they put some old cards in there that are still more or less viable to play with, so that you go like, man, that card, crazy. And that's kind of, you know, quarter century for you. There's still one more quarter century product to come out this year. Likely, I will open it when it comes out. I think it comes out, I don't know, somewhere in April 2025 or something. And in the meantime, I still have more quarter century stuff that I have to open because I bought more than 1 box because I am a sucker for nostalgia. And we also have some of the cooler, newer stuff. So hope to see you in the next video. Thank you very much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and all those cool things that Yugi will do. And I will see you next time on PAX and Recreation. Bye.